is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Beauty is podcast. I'm your host, Casey Faith. So excited that you've decided to join us today. So the beauty tip, I tried this right before I came in. I have great things to say about it, great reviews. So it is essentially a egg white and coffee grinds face mask. So you're going to take one egg, a fourth of a cup of coffee grounds. So it's just the egg white, the coffee grounds, you mix them together and you apply it to your face. Now, of course, you have no makeup on, your face is bare. You can leave it on for 15 to 20 minutes, no more than 30. And this is what it does. It tightens, it brightens, and it depuffs. And I found that for me. And actually, when I put it on my face, it was tingling. I was like, oh my goodness. So this mask in and of itself is supposed to be like a morning pick-me-up, or you do it to like revitalize your face before you go out at night, before you put on your makeup. So I tried it a few hours ago before I came, and I loved it. So nothing but great things to say with that. So the word for today is, the thesis is beauty is fleeting. And the word comes from Proverbs 31, specifically verse 30. I'm going to go ahead and read it out of the NLT to begin. Charm is deceptive and beauty does not last, but a woman who fears the Lord will be greatly praised. The King James reads like this to offer a different perspective. Opposite perspectives here. The King James reads, favor is deceitful and beauty is vain. But a woman that feareth the Lord shall be praised. So the word for beauty there is yophi. That word in the Greek is defined as beauty. Simple, straightforward. Literally one word definition in the Blue Letter Bible. Beauty for beauty. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but the NLT and the King James have completely different phraseology with describing what beauty is or what beauty does. So the NLT says beauty does not last. The King James says beauty is vain. Now, when I think of vain, I think of selfish, I think of self-obsessed, borderline narcissistic, like it's all about me. But beauty does not last. That's a whole different meaning. So when you go to the Greek, it's cool. It's really cool because it opens it up beautifully. The Greek is the word habel, and that word means breath or vapor. And if I dug a little deeper, it also means emptiness or unsatisfying, which makes perfect sense. If you look at other versions beyond the NLT and the King James, the phraseology is beauty is passing, beauty disappears, beauty is fleeting, which is where we got our thesis today. So in this context, what God is saying to us is that beauty is quick. Like beauty doesn't last. Beauty eventually fades. Like beauty is like, whew. Now, before I go on any further, it merits us zooming back and taking a look at what is the book of Proverbs, like in general. So we're Proverbs 31:30. We're very specific, very zoomed in, but we zoom out quite a bit. I want to add context to that scripture. So Proverbs 1-9, chapter 1-9 is cool because it's a father offering instruction to his son. Go all the way to the end of the book. So chapter 31 is the last chapter in the book of Proverbs. It's a mom instructing her son. So chapter 1-9, father instructing son. Chapter 31, mom instructing son. And if you're familiar with the book of Proverbs, you know verse 10 through the end of verse all the way to 31 is literally the mama saying, hey son, this is what you want to look for in a wife. This is a wife of noble character. So the mom is saying to the son, honey, guess what? Beauty is quick. But you, my beloved son, I want you to remember and recognize, look for a woman who fears the Lord. The NLT, we're going to read it real quick. Charm is deceptive, beauty does not last, but a woman who fears the Lord is greatly to be praised. Son, look for her. And so if you're a fellow tuning in today, this is like, have open ears and remember, it's okay to be attracted to a woman. God designed that in you strategically, but you've got to look beyond that. Eventually, as you start pursuing or getting to know her, does she fear God? And ladies out there, fear God. That's where the depth comes in. That's what a godly man is going to love about you. He's going to recognize that, and he's going to appreciate that about you. So that's a lot of what I want to teach on the remainder of the podcast. What does it look like to fear God? You're like, okay, Casey, I'm captive. You've got my audience. So what does it look like to fear the Lord? So as I do, I look in the Greek, and then I cross-correlate, and I dig, and I dig, and I dig. And so fear of the Lord, I think Job is where we can find a beautiful description, almost definition. So Job 1:8 and Job 2:3 literally offer the exact same phraseology in the English. A perfect and upright man, one that feareth God. They say the same thing, a perfect and upright man, one that feareth God, and escheweth evil. I'm like, Lord, what is escheweth? So I went in and I the definition of escheweth, they both say escheweth is to turn aside, avoid, and depart. So fearing the Lord is turning away from evil. There's evil, you turn. There's evil, you avoid it. There's evil, you depart from it. You are like, no to darkness, no to sin, no to evil. I'm not going to get caught up in that. That's one expression of the fear of the Lord. But the other one is a perfect and upright man. And I'm going, what is the Lord talking about there? Because Jesus is the only person who has ever been perfect. Like, there's no way that God is saying you have to be perfect in order to fear me, because that's impossible. Like, no one is ever perfect except for Jesus himself. He walked the earth and he was perfect. Other than that, God is perfect. And so what the Lord is saying in this scripture is to fear the Lord is to embrace this process of perfecting yourself. Now, 1 Peter, we see the same phraseology. So God says, be perfect as I am perfect. Again, there's no way you'll never be perfect on this side of eternity. You'll never be perfect. But it also, another version says, be holy as I am holy. And so the perfection process is actually the holiness process, y'all. It's the sanctification process. And it naturally happens as you seek your beloved, as you draw closer and closer and closer to the God who is literally light. So fearing the Lord is departing from evil and seeking God with everything in you. That is fear of the Lord. Now, so if we go a little further, it was really cool because the scriptures I found offered the benefits, so to speak. Like, so we know what the fear of the Lord is, but what does it do in our lives? And there's so many. It's so cool. Psalms 31:19. Oh, how great is thy goodness, which thou hast for them who fear the Lord. So goodness, God has goodness for those who fear him. Psalm 115:13. He blesses those who fear him. Psalm 128:4. Again, he blesses those who fear him. Psalm 145:19. He will fulfill the desires of those who fear him. Psalm 147:11. The Lord takes pleasure in those who fear him. Proverbs 13:13. He that feareth the Lord will be rewarded. Like, there's so many good things about fearing the Lord. So it's like, yes, in order to, like, if you're like, okay, I want to be a woman who fears the Lord, or like your brother, I'm like, I'm looking for a woman who fears the Lord. So it's someone who turns away from evil and embraces the perfection process, the sanctification process, and seeks God with everything in her. And then also you're going to see goodness follow her. She's going to be rewarded. Ladies, you're going to be rewarded. You're going to walk in blessing, and the Lord delights in it. It's like so cool. It is so good. So putting a bow on this whole thing, beauty is quick. Fearing the Lord offers that depth. And I want to just offer a quick example. Go on a journey with me. So you are house shopping. You're in this season where you want to commit to buying a house. Like, that is a big commitment. The outside, if you hear that, that's the library. Woohoo! The outside of the house is Habel. Okay, the inside of the house, like I'm talking like the infrastructure, like the foundation, like what is the house made out of? That's the fear of the Lord. And so if you're going house shopping and you're only looking at the external, you're doing it wrong. You can be attracted to the house by the external, but you got to be aware of, is the foundation good? Does this house have termites? Good Lord, is there mold growing in the house? Because, you invest and you commit, but then 2 years into it, you don't want to have to, like, the house collapsed. The house is broken. The house needs so many renovations. Like, you need to be, like, it's okay to be attracted to the decor, but then you've got to look for the depth. So, ladies and gentlemen, this was for everybody today. I hope you got something out of this. If you did, please share it with a friend. I would love that. And Casey Faith, signing out.